Man, what is up? Man, enjoying the channel. Man, what is up? It is your boy G-reg. We are back with another reaction video. So today we've already played Rainbow Six Siege, we've played Resident Evil, and we've played college football. That was the time of day where we start doing reaction videos. We start pumping out the reaction videos. And then later today, we are going to finish with Minecraft. We have Minecraft episode 2. Gonna do that live on stream. Last night we didn't do it live, but we got it filmed and I posted it up on YouTube. So go check out that video. Yeah, let's just hop right into it. We're watching Explore With Us, and they dropped The Horror Inside a Hollowed Tree. Get ready for this.
I found her in my house. She's tied up.
I'm out of her house now. I just went in her home because I'm so worried about her.
This is 30-year-old Matthew Hoffman. He's just been arrested at one of the most bizarre crime scenes ever, filled with something so strange that you'll have to see it to believe it. After sitting in complete silence for hours, in approximately 3 seconds you'll see him finally crack and speak for the first time, admitting that a missing 13-year-old girl was found in his basement.
I can't tell you anything so.
But what he says next is completely unexpected. When Valerie Haythorne became concerned that something horrible had happened to her co-worker after she failed to show up for work, she broke into her house only to find a disturbing scene. She soon discovered that her co-worker was missing, and the truth of what happened was even more horrific than anyone even feared. The night
Wait.
Wednesday,
Were my eyes fucking tweaking there?
Anyone even feared.
Oh no, that's just like...
The nightmare began on Wednesday, November 10th, 2010 in Apple Valley, Ohio, when 32-year-old Tina Herman, a reliable employee at the local Dairy Queen, missed a day of work. For most people, this wouldn't be a big deal. However, she also wasn't answering any texts or calls, all of which was highly unusual for her. Concerned for her well-being, Valerie Haythorne, Tina's manager, decided to drive by her house and make sure everything was okay. She saw Tina's truck was in the driveway with another unknown car, and that the lights were on inside the house. But she still felt like something wasn't quite right. She called the police and told them that Tina hadn't shown up for work.
Sheriff Barber's office.
Hi, my name is Valerie Haythorne, and I work out at Dairy Queen. I'm the general manager out there. One of my employees did not show up for work this afternoon at 4 o'clock,
Okay.
which is totally uncharacteristic of her. She's one of my managers.
Okay.
I drove out by her house and went and knocked on the door and left her a note. She's not answering her phone, which is totally uncharacteristic. She's not answering her texts, and she is not at home, but her truck and her coat are in her house. Her truck's there and her coat is in the house. I'm very concerned about her.
What's her name?
Her name is Tina Herman, H-E-R-R-M-A-N-N.
Okay.
I know that she and her boyfriend are splitting up, and he can be a real jerk with her.
Okay. Do you have a phone number for her?
Oh my God,
See, man, those friends. Those friends are people your girls hang around with. They're not dumb. Or your spouse, anybody. It doesn't just have to be a girl. Like my friends, Maddie's friends, just whoever, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever. Their friends notice shit and they can be quiet. They can be quiet. But like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they be over like sometimes they be like overdoing it, man. There's a lot of I want to say this nicely. It's usually it's a lot of the single friends that like to give their opinions on stuff, and like 95% of the time they're just completely wrong and just jealous, and the other 5% they're right, like this lady. But yeah, always check up on your homies. Always make sure they're good, no matter what. And yeah.
if you were just in my phone, I'd have to call you
Okay,
back.
that's fine. What was your name again?
My name is Valerie Haythorne.
Okay. Okay, I will have a deputy swing out there and check on her.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
responding rather quickly. 2 different officers at different times showed up to check the residence, but when they knocked, no one came to the door. They left the matter unresolved. The next day, an officer called East Knox Schools to find out if Tina's 2 children, 13-year-old Sarah Maynard and 10-year-old Cody Maynard, had been in school. They were told that both children were in school on Wednesday, but hadn't shown up on Thursday. Soon, a man named Ron Metcalf was also contacting the police because his girlfriend, 41-year-old Stephanie Sprang, appeared to be missing. She was Tina's best friend, and they'd been together before he lost contact with Stephanie. Ron spoke to Stephanie around 12:45 on Wednesday, but she had...
So automatically, if the 2 best friends went missing, automatically you could put it in as it's someone they know, basically.
answered any of his calls since then. Around 4 p.m. on this same Thursday, Tina's determined boss, Valerie, decided to take matters into her own hands. When she got to Tina's house, she noticed that Tina's truck was now gone from the driveway, and only the unknown vehicle was left. This vehicle would turn out to belong to Stephanie. When her knocks on the front door went unanswered, Valerie decided to enter the house using an unlocked window on the back porch. Once inside, she saw blood in the bathroom and on the carpet, as well as splattered throughout the home. She immediately left the house and called the police.
This is Deputy Sylvia. Can I help you?
Yes, this is Valerie Haythorne. I called in last night about Tina Herman being missing. I'm out at her house now. I just went in her home because I'm so worried about her. There is blood everywhere.
Okay. Where are you at? I'm sorry. I just got back today, so...
Okay.
So you just need to kind of fill me in a little bit, okay?
Tina Herman works for...
Hey, at least he's honest, man. He's like, okay. Man, that motherfucker hearing this, he's like, okay, you're at your friend's house. This is him silent. Yeah, I'm at my friend's house. Yada, yada, yada. Just came out of her house. He's like, all right. There's blood everywhere. Oh, okay. That's what he's like. He don't know what the fuck's going on.
She did not show up for work yesterday, and we have not been able to locate her or her children for the last 24 hours now. I just spoke with...
No, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
I just need an address.
481 10 Beach Drive in Apple Valley.
Okay. Just give us a few minutes and we'll be in line, okay?
Okay, that's
Don't go back in the house.
I'm not going to. I'm staying in the driveway.
Okay, thank you.
No way.
All right, bye.
Bye.
By Friday, November 12th, the police were officially investigating 4 disappearances. Tina,
What?
Sarah, Cody, and
I thought the kids were in school.
A dog, a miniature pinscher named Tanner, was also missing. The house was searched.
Why do you gotta bring the fucking dogs into it, people? Dude, you know how to trigger they're fucking doing this shit on purpose. They know I fuck with dogs heavy. If you keep fucking with me and these dogs, I will.
For clues, and the first discovery was very disheartening. The initial crime scene investigation concluded that the evidence indicated assault with bodily injury, including a large amount of blood and what looked like drag marks leading to the bathroom. There was also blood on the top of the basement stairs and in the basement. Something terrible had happened in Tina's home, but the exact extent of the horror still wasn't clear. The first suspect in the disappearances was the most obvious. Right at the beginning of the investigation, the police were told that Tina and her boyfriend were in the middle of a breakup, and her friends were worried that something may have happened between them. Gregory Borders, Tina's live-in boyfriend, who was not...
How do I legally change my name? Bro, come on, man. What are the fucking chances that Gregory... Man, I've never met anybody else named Gregory. And then this fucking dude is named Gregory. Come on. You gotta be shit.
The father of her children was interviewed immediately after he came to the police station voluntarily. In his statement, he admitted that he and Tina had split up, but they were still living in the house together until either of them could make other arrangements. Interestingly, Gregory normally takes Wednesdays off from work, the day Tina went missing, but he decided to work overtime at Target Distribution in West Jefferson, Ohio, about 1.5 hours away. He worked from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., but instead of coming back home, he said he stayed at a friend's house in Urbana, as they had plans to play golf in Bellefontaine the next day. It all seemed very convenient, except that all of his time was accounted for, and his friend verified that they had dinner together and stayed in watching TV. Gregory received a call from his mother around noon on Thursday, and she told him that Tina was missing. But instead of panicking and coming to help look for her, he just assumed she took the day off and continued to golf. Gregory only realized his assumption couldn't have been more wrong when he finally returned to the home he shared with Tina. There he found that an investigation into the disappearances had already begun. After investigators cleared the crime scene, Gregory's own family arrived with bleach to clean up the blood in the house so that he wouldn't have to see it. With Gregory cleared, investigators had to move on to other leads.
Never mind. I always had full confidence that we were good.
The next development was on that same Thursday when Tina's vehicle was discovered.
Us Gregs, bro, we just know we're cool. We're not beefing. We're not tripping out. I guarantee he goes and gardens. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. That's how we stay cool. We stay nice and cool, bro. We ain't trying to trip. We ain't trying to do, we ain't trying to do too much unless you really tick us off, and then it's boom. Then it's over with. Everybody, it's if you in my way, bro, you getting told, you're like, yo, get the man. I be, it's crazy. Only person that really I can't get ticked off at, I don't know. Maddie knows how to get me going. So does my grandma. Both Maddie and my grandma really know how to. They toy with me. They'll play with me. They'll fucking. Like, dude, she would troll me sometimes so good, chat. And she really knows how to.
In the campus parking
We be trolling. But then I'll take a cold-ass water bottle, like, right out of the fucking fridge. And she usually walks around with her big shirt on. And you can probably fill in the rest, just underwear. And I'll take that bitch, put it right on her inner thigh. Dude, she tweaks, bro. You put it on her thighs, bro, they tweak out. It's so cold.
Of the nearby Kenyon College, with no sign of her or anyone else. But it was something at the crime scene back at Tina's house that soon became the most promising piece of evidence. Investigators found Walmart shopping bags containing 2 tarps and a box of heavy-duty trash bags. Now, that's not a good sign at all. But in this case, it was also the investigation's big break because, along with the shopping bags, they also found a receipt for the purchase. Detectives wasted no time requesting the surveillance footage.
Bro, these guys are just stupid, bro. Like, come on.
From the Walmart in Mount Vernon, and began scouring it for someone making the suspicious purchase of garbage bags and tarps, along with a turkey sandwich and a t-shirt which was seen on the receipt. It wasn't long before they found him, buying the items just after midnight on Thursday morning. Just to be sure they had the right guy, investigators obtained a copy of the receipt from the suspicious transaction and compared the product codes with the receipt they found at the crime scene, and they matched. The suspect was a white male, 25 to 40 years old, with brown hair, wearing a camouflage shirt and glasses. He was caught on the footage leaving the Walmart in a silver Toyota Yaris. Using still images of the suspect, the investigators used the Ohio Law Enforcement Gateway to search for any owners of a silver Toyota Yaris. It was then that they found a name, 30-year-old Matthew J. Hoffman. His vehicle appeared to match the surveillance video, and in his Ohio BMV photo, taken only 16 days before the Walmart footage was caught.
Bro, they got a fresh fucking look at you, dog. That's probably one thing that people don't think of is like, yo, they can look at my license and really see what I look like. Like, yo. Yeah, I think it's either him or the second dude or the third dude. I don't think it's the bottom two. The young kid looks too young and his hair is too long. And then the other dude's got a little goatee.
He was even wearing a camouflage shirt similar to the one in the video. Obviously, the police knew they had to talk to him, but Matthew had 2 possible addresses. One belonged to his mother, Patricia Heglin, and was only 0.4 miles from Tina's home. The other was registered under his name and was only 10 miles from Tina's. If there was any doubt that Matthew was the right guy, a search of the Knox County Sheriff's Office revealed that he had actually been stopped near where Tina's van was found within the same hour that it was discovered. An officer had stopped him to ask why he was in the area, but believing nothing was amiss, let him go. The sheriff's office also revealed that there was also a report of domestic violence between Matthew and his then-living girlfriend that occurred about 1 month before the disappearances. During an argument, Matthew allegedly choked his now ex-girlfriend. It was also discovered that following the breakup, Matthew had just recently been fired from his job as a tree trimmer for apparently making his supervisor uncomfortable. His ex-girlfriend was contacted, and she told the police that Matthew no longer lived at his mother's house, and hadn't for several months. Finally, the police knew where to look for Tina, Sarah, Cody, and Stephanie. Once search warrants were obtained just 3 days after the disappearances,
Bro, this
a SWAT
dude
team descended on Matthew's home. Because they weren't sure if Matthew had kidnapped the 4 people, they conducted a no-knock search and used a ram to force entry through the front door. They then threw in a flash grenade before they entered the home. What they found was more bizarre than they could have ever expected. Matthew was asleep on the sofa. He resisted a little by not showing his hands when asked, but he was quickly arrested and removed from the home. As soon as he was taken care of, officers noticed something particularly strange about the house. There were leaves everywhere. The living room floor was almost completely covered in a huge pile of leaves. At first, the police were worried that the leaf pile might be hiding something sinister, like a body. But after searching through, they were relieved to find that this wasn't the case. Still, things only got weirder from there. There were also bags of leaves lining every wall of the bathroom. After breaking down the door of a locked bedroom, police discovered what looked like a marijuana growing operation that was not active. In a freezer, they found 2 dead squirrels lying right next to a few red popsicles. But the biggest surprise was hidden in the basement. A cabinet was blocking the doorway, but once moved, an officer discovered Tina's daughter, Sarah Maynard, lying on a sleeping bag on top of a pile of leaves in Matthew's basement. Her feet and hands were bound with yellow rope.
That's an actual picture? Bro. Yo, homie was just upstairs just chilling. Let this be my daughter, bro. I'm telling you. He's lucky that SWAT team came in and arrested him. Dude, if I'm being so for real. My daughter goes missing, or if my daughter is I'm gonna know my daughter's schedule by heart, and my son's. But I'm gonna be paying attention. My sons are already gonna know how to get down and do everything. I'm gonna have them motherfuckers in shit. I'm not gonna force my daughter to do shit. I'm gonna be the one to protect my daughter. My sons, other story. They're gonna have to learn on their own. I'm not gonna treat my sons worse than my daughters. I'm just saying I'm gonna make my sons fight and learn how to fight, and at least at a young age to get that over with. And if they don't want to do it when they're older, they're fine. They got the basics in. And swim. They gotta know how to swim. But my daughter, nah. If she don't want to, she ain't got to. I'll be the one to protect her. But if she wants to, go ahead, man. Learn how to fight. Beat some dude's ass. But yo. If I ever find like my daughter not in her schedule and she's not in her normal routine and she don't answer to me, and with I'm gonna have a certain amount of time, I'm gonna tell her, if you don't answer, I don't care if it's midnight, I don't care if it's 1, if you don't answer me within 4 hours or something, unless you tell me I'm going to bed, then boom. And if you don't, and then I go and pick you up the next morning, or you answer later, like the next morning, you're punished. I need that. I'm going to bed. I'm safe. Text every time. Every time. And if I don't, I'm up. Come on. Where we at? Where's the loco? I'm coming. I'm on the way. Bet. I ain't playing. Like, if I have a daughter, and this is me right now. I don't even have a daughter right now. So imagine when I do. The feeling, I'm
basement. Her feet
or if I do,
bound with yellow rope and duct tape. Alongside her in the basement were more trash bags filled with leaves. Thankfully, Sarah appeared to be unharmed, but she was wearing a makeshift diaper made from a plastic bag. As officers approached her, she was very confused and told them that she was late for school and kept asking if they knew anything about what happened to her dog, Tanner.
She's in complete, I was going to say, she's in complete shock. Oh my. Dude. And this will fuck Dude, this shit will fuck your brain up. This is trauma. This is straight trauma. This can fuck with her brain. Now she's, dude, now this is a valid type of girl to be like, you know, I don't feel comfortable with this. I like, if this is her and I'm like her boyfriend, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be like I'm saying in the future, I'm saying this girl grows. I'm not saying Sarah right now. I'm saying Sarah, like 22-year-old Sarah. She explains to her then current or new boyfriend, let's say. She's like, yo, I was in this incident. Certain things can trigger me. Certain things can do this, yada, yada, yada. And if she shows him everything, she's straight up with him, I would be like, cool. All right, bet. We could work with this. As long as she's giving him what he needs and as long as he's giving her what he needs, boom, we can adjust. But the type of girls to be like, yo, you know what I'm trying to say. The ones that accuse and the ones that make shit up, bro, you should be in like prison. You should be prosecuted for lying. And that's what I believe. But yeah, I feel bad for the girls that really go through that shit. Cause like that, I can't. And the dudes, just little kids in general. That shit fucks with their brain.
Sarah was likely in shock or possibly dissociating. When something very scary or traumatic happens, someone may dissociate to protect themselves. They may feel disconnected from what is really going on or as though they are in a dreamlike state because reality is too difficult to face. Have you ever gotten in the car to drive home and then suddenly you realize you're almost back, but you don't remember the drive? That is a very mild form of dissociation.
No.
There was no sign of Tina, Cody, or Stephanie anywhere in the home. Investigators took care to photograph the way Sarah was bound before they freed her and brought her upstairs to wait for medical attention. Sarah was then brought by EMS to Knox Community Hospital, where she was thoroughly examined and questioned.
That boy better be alright. All I'm saying, that boy better be alright.
What had happened. She said that she and her brother had returned home from school on Wednesday and were attacked by Matthew as soon as they entered. She ran to her bedroom, but Matthew grabbed her and carried her down into the basement. There he found some rope that was already in the house and used it to tie her up. He then left her on the kitchen floor for a period of time. She wasn't sure how long before he put her into Stephanie's Jeep and drove her to the Howard Ballfield parking lot. He covered her with blankets and left her there. Matthew later returned and put her into another car and drove to his house. Once there, he bound her hands in work gloves and duct tape, had her gagged, and kept her locked in the bathroom in a closet before he put her into the basement. Sarah said that she believed Matthew had killed her mother, brother, Stephanie, and her dog, but she wasn't sure. She revealed that during the time Matthew had kidnapped her, about 4 days, he cut her finger with a knife, repeatedly assaulted her, and said that he was going to release her before Christmas. But he never told her what happened to her mother, brother, or Stephanie.
What?
After being medically cleared, Sarah was then released into her father's custody. Initially, after he was arrested...
Dude, if I'm that fucking dad, dude, I'm out there. I'm in... dude, look at this fuck, bro. Like, you are a bum, dude. You got no... Like, look at the crib you lived in, bro. Look where they picked you up at, bro. Like... You don't feel like, bro, you should, like, people, like, if you living like this, I'm not saying, like, you have the same lifestyle, but get your shit together. Like, if you got a small crib, keep it clean. Don't be fucking leaving messes and shit, bro. That's not it, man. Keep yourself clean, do your shit, and then eventually just work your way up. That's just how it goes. It starts with the basics.
Matthew was placed under 24-hour watch after crying and threatening to harm himself. Eventually, though, he was brought in to speak with investigators. The following interrogations took place over 4 days and have never been analyzed before. The interrogator reads Matthew his Miranda rights, but he's almost completely unresponsive and barely even acknowledges the detectives.
Bottom paragraph says, my rights have been explained to me and I understand each of those rights. Having those rights in mind, I'm willing at this time to make a statement or answer questions. You understand that, man? You understand?
It's possible that Matthew is in a catatonic state, which can occur with some psychological disorders, including schizophrenia. When the person is experiencing catatonia, they may be completely unresponsive with their body, like Matthew is now. It's also possible that this is his way of coping with the stress of the interrogation. Someone who is under extreme stress may limit their movements in an effort to go unnoticed, also known as freezing. Of course, it's also the possibility that he's refusing to cooperate to intentionally avoid having to answer questions.
You want to talk to one of us alone, or do you want us both in here, or you comfortable with both of us being here? Man?
Soon they start to get creative in the hopes that Matthew will begin talking.
Hey Matt, can I ask you a question? You look familiar. You look familiar to me. You work out at the gym?
Though Matthew remains silent, he finally reacts, but what he does is one of the most bizarre things we have ever seen in an interrogation.
You know, other people, there's family members out there of other people, and all they want is closure. That's all they want. They've been up for days like you and I had, you know? Heart hurts. I don't understand sign language, man.
Matthew's hands.
Your face is gonna fucking hurt real quick, Matthew. You stupid. This is the type of shit, bro. We need OG type of cops, and I guarantee this motherfucker's like that. Look at him. I'm not saying this guy's soft. I'm saying beat the fuck out this dude. I used to watch Chicago PD all the time. If you know, you know. You know the sergeant. His ass is a mean, ruthless motherfucker, bro. But guess what? He got answers. He got results. I'm not. It's a TV show, but guess what? I'm gonna go with that motherfucker. Beat the shit out of this kid, bro, or this dude. You a grown ass man, right, bro? Man. Hey, what?
Signals seem to say that his heart is broken. This is, of course, not real sign language. However, it's certainly odd that he's using hand signals to communicate, but this could be an indication of Matthew's childlike nature.
What do you want from us? Tell me what you want from us.
Matthew sits with his eyes closed as the detectives try relentlessly to get him to start talking.
You want a couple of minutes here just to kind of think about all this? Because I know it's overwhelming for you right now.
I'm beginning to think Matt don't care.
He cares.
Good cop, bad cop.
Detectives are speaking as if Matthew isn't in the room. They're likely trying to see if something they say strikes a chord and makes him want to chime in to correct their assumptions about him.
They're rage
When this
baiting.
attempt doesn't work, the interrogator tries another, more confrontational approach.
Somebody will cry today. If I make
Here we go.
a phone call after this interview, somebody will cry. But I guarantee you, some of that cry will be joy. Because they know where Cody is. They know where Tina is. They know where Stephanie is. I know they'll cry for somewhat joy, Matt, because I've already heard it with Sarah.
Matthew tightens one hand into a fist and then covers it with the other
He's
hand.
getting in there. He's rage baiting right now. He's cooking.
A sign that he's feeling very anxious.
What I'm probably going to do, Matt, is leave this room, and when I get away from these guys, probably cry like a baby. Because it's working on me, man. Big time.
Finally, after sitting in silence and almost completely unresponsive for over 4 hours, Matthew cracks.
I can't tell you anything because I don't know. You know,
Bro, no way. It took 4 hours. 4.5 hours. Bro. That shit is crazy.
I knew I must have done
Oh,
something
not
wrong.
4.5 hours. 4 hours. Exactly.
And that thunder in my house. She kind of. And so I took care of her.
You didn't take care of
Psychopaths often
shit.
try to paint themselves as the good guy or the hero like Matthew did here when claiming that he took care of Sarah. This is a sign of antisocial personality disorder, also known as ASPD. However, when someone with psychopathy does something horrible, they will sometimes pick out one positive thing they did in the midst of all the horrible things in order to claim
Bro,
that they
these
are
motherfuckers
good.
crazy.
What Matthew claims he had done to, in his words, take care of Sarah, was feed her, let her watch the movie Iron Man, and allow her to borrow his copy of the...
Bro, I'm not trying to laugh, bro, but I guarantee he's dead ass serious. Sorry, I gotta
book
talk.
Treasure Island.
How do we know anything else? So I was trying to figure out what had happened.
Matthew's claim to not know what he did is one of the mysteries with psychopaths and people with severe personality disorders, because they sometimes dissociate and can't recall their actions. This is particularly true for the very mentally ill psychopaths, such as someone with psychopathy mixed with psychosis. Other times, their supposed inability to remember is just their way of manipulating and pretending that they weren't aware of what they were doing.
At what point did you find your child in your house? Thursday. Did you ask her? Did you speak with her about, what happened? How did you get here? Anything like that? She said I'd done it. I figured I had done something I didn't know. I just trying to put pieces together.
It still isn't clear what happened to Tina, Cody, or Stephanie, or where they are. However, given the evidence of blood found in the home and Sarah's testimony that she believed Matthew killed them, investigators weren't hopeful that they would be found alive.
Did you recognize her as someone that you had seen before? And, did you realize that this is a person you'd seen before that now was in your house? Or I don't know. Didn't make that connection. You don't know her. I mean, I'm just asking because they were the pictures on the camera and they weren't taken, at the time that this happened. So I was just wondering if you.
Hey, what up, Sosa? How we doing, man? Bro, I've been on this bitch for 3 hours cooking. W fundraiser? Yeah, I started that shit, bro. If you go to, it's on your Twitch thing. You can go start it. It's on your Twitch thing. It's on your, charity right here. And so anybody can donate to the shit. I did St. Jude because I'm always for the kids, and not no weird shit. I was adopted, so like I kind of take that shit personal. So like I'm always, come on, give money to them kids though.
Someone you knew, and then wow, how did you get here in my house?
And I'm pretty sure it just takes it automatically, and I don't have to touch it or do anything with it, which I'd rather not. I'd fucking deposit it on accident and be accused of fucking stealing the shit.
Childlike behavior is very typical of people with personality disorders, including...
Hey, did you get the 2K link? I looked for it on my notifications. I'll even show you right here. Oh, that's why they delete. Or is it in my Twitch? Fuck, I don't know where it went. But that's where I found mine for the 2K. And you can go to, you can look up Twitch online and just look up 2K event Twitch with Twitch and it'll come up and you can just apply. If I got it, you'll get it. Because I only got like 90 some followers and you got like 150.
However, Matthew is extremely childlike.
And you stream pretty much. You do long ass streams. Those fucking 12-hour streams is crazy.
But they often do so knowingly as a way to attempt to manipulate their way out of consequences. A female officer, believed to be a psychologist, enters the room and begins speaking with Matthew one-on-one. She set up the room differently so they're more side by side instead of across the table, which doesn't allow Matthew to have the barrier of the table between them, keeping his distance and guard up.
72-hour stream? Hey, if you do Discord, I'll hop into Discord with you and join for I'm not gonna promise no 12 hours, but I'll get on right when I wake up type shit and go till whenever. I'm down. If you want to play something, I'm down. I'll be part of it. But I've never done a 24-hour stream, so I don't know what the fuck I can do even. 72 hours is crazy. Damn. And Matt, you're gonna get hella donations, especially if you have like the time. If the stream can see how long you've been streaming for, and once you get like past a day, they'll be like, "Fuck, we're gonna start donating."
The interviewer is trying to build rapport with Matthew and trying to make it seem like she can relate to him, possibly feeling lonely in a city where you don't know anyone. This is to make him feel less judged and to start moving him closer to a confession.
But you had a purpose.
Yeah.
Ikigai.
What's that?
Japanese.
Oh.
Ikigai.
A reason for being is a Japanese concept referring to something that gives a person a sense of purpose or a reason of living. Bro, so killing and kidnapping is your reason of living? I had 3 people drop. What? You got 153 times, bro? Yeah, you cooking. Sosa cooking, man. Sosa cooking. Hey, do you have a YouTube? Drop your YouTube. I want to follow it. Because I follow Mushy. Dude, 350s, bro. That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. So you got 100. That's 300. That's 550 or 450. So how much did you get out of that? Like 250, 275? Same as your Twitch? I bet. Here, I'm gonna go look it up right now. Hold on. I was gonna ask you that, but I forgot. So oh, it popped up. I'm not even it popped up. Wait, what? Baltimore? What the fuck is this? No. Oh shit. You did the Clark? That's funny as hell, man. You should be getting paid. Is that K3? You friends with Kimani? Or not? That's not his K. What's his name? Hold on. Not Kimani. Kamari. It's Kamari. Kamari's ass, bro. Dude. His ass funny as hell, bro. I remember my freshman year playing football. Dude. That dude just ran over any motherfucker, bro. And he's fast as fuck.
Latches onto her comment about a lack of purpose. She'll now likely use this as the theme for why he did what he did, as he was receptive to it. This is a step.
His ass funny though.
A read technique of theme development. When developing themes, the interrogator speaks in.
Hey, wait, you went to No, I went to Hempstead all 4 years. He was a junior when I was a freshman. I was class of 22. Yeah, I'm younger. I'm 2 years younger than Mushy and you. And Kamari.
In a soft, soothing voice.
But I always fucked with Kamari. I don't want to bring him up. Well, like, cause he just passed and shit. But like, I fucked with TJ. I fucked with Jamari. I fucked with DJ, Kamari, Sam Akins, Kendra. I love Dre. I love Dre. Dre, he just went to fucking Utah or wherever. No, he was in Switzerland or some shit. And it was fucking crazy.
Non-threatening and to lull the suspect into a false sense of security.
So I didn't allowed to call her.
Oh, BT? What you know about BT? Damn, young. Yeah, I'm young as hell, bro.
That's where I got into my first trouble. I did something really bad. And I pieced it together. I figured it out. And it went and turned something out of my first prison time.
Did they buy this motherfucking pizza? Dude, I don't know. This is how cops get shit out of people, I guess. I would never.
It is clear he likes playing the victim role, and the interviewer will allow him to seem like a victim to get him to confess. But admitting that he had done something very bad in the past, it shows that he has some awareness of what bad is. So if there is any doubt that he's insane, This could show that he's likely not entirely insane.
I guess I burned down a condo. I took her down the condo.
In 2001, Matthew was convicted.
Wait, what the fuck? You have 115 subs? You started with 50. You doubled your shit in one fucking night? That's crazy, man. Yo, you're cooking, man. And your YouTube's big as hell. You got almost 500. When do you get paid? Do you get paid from YouTube? Or am I tripping? I don't see. I just started my YouTube channel, so I have no fucking idea. Like how many. I'm not even worried about the monetization, but I have no idea.
Burglary, assault, and motor vehicle theft.
And I see you average fucking 2,000 views, so it looked like you. I looked at the first 4 and it fucking 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 2,000.
Colorado. It's believed that he
should be getting paid something at least.
The evidence that he'd been
ads or
staying
something
there without the owner's permission. He was eventually released from prison and paroled back to Ohio.
It's okay.
What the fuck? You have to get 1,000 subs on YouTube, bro? Well, I'm gonna be posting for a minute before I get paid anything.
You don't want to hurt anybody.
It's cool. It's all part of the plan, though.
The investigator.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. 1,000 subs.
Saying he just wanted a release and didn't want to hurt anybody.
Like you averaging 1,000 views. Like what do you? I don't get that.
This is another Reed technique used to make him feel more at ease with admitting to the things he did. She's proposed a more morally acceptable reason for his actions that he can latch onto.
I don't want to hurt anyone. It's not me.
Man, this dude's lame as
Again,
hell.
her tactic works, and he repeats what she said.
You know what antipsychotic medication is?
Well, she's.
I mean, it doesn't. I read about it. It doesn't directly address the problem. It's just
Discord?
powerful. It tranquilizers. I'll take it if I have to.
Discord?
It's interesting that
I don't know
Matthew
what you
agrees
mean.
he will take an antipsychotic medication if
Am
he
I
has
slow?
to. It appears that he may be trying to claim that he is psychotic or was acting due to psychosis when he committed
Don't
the
claim
crime.
insanity, bro. Don't claim insanity, bro. That's the lamest shit, bro. I hate that. Just kill them, bro. If they're insane, just kill them. If they can't be a human population, kill their ass, bro. That's how I feel.
It's worse than just something bad.
You don't want to. Oh, you want my Discord? Here, I'll drop mine. I don't even know what my shit is. Here, I'll show you mine. Man, fuck you. Whatever the fuck. What? Me. No. Where's mine? Who am I? How do I see who I am? Oh, right here. Well, can I see it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just... Dude. What the fuck? How do I see it? What's your username? Origin story? Here, I'll just hop in a call real quick. Alright, bet. Am I slow? And I just started using Discord. So I have no idea. Options. Field profile. Why doesn't it say it, dude? What? I'll just send you it. I'll just send you it. It's fine. I'll just send you it. Yeah, I don't know. I bet here. I'll just delete the text real quick. There we go. I bet I got it. Which one is it? Did I join it? Or am I tweaking? And I don't know what the fuck these other ones are. Ooh, wait. How do I see myself? Oh, bet. I accepted it. We good. We in, bet. We in. There we go. We're good. Leave this fucking chat. Whatever. Disconnect. I bet. There we go. There, I got in. Yeah, just let me know whenever you want to do something. I'll join that bitch. Like, anytime. I'll wake up. I'll set an alarm. Dude, I have a broken back, so literally anytime. I have no excuse. Otherwise, I have physical therapy. That's about it, though. Otherwise, I'm good.
That wouldn't be
Wow, that can be worked through.
Again, he's playing innocent and claiming to be unaware of his actions. This is not a believable tactic. And hearing this, it's easy to assume that he's lying and manipulating or playing crazy to try to get out of the consequences he knows he'll be facing. While this could be the case, it's also possible that Matthew has gotten used to dissociating throughout his life, meaning that he copes with whatever unpleasant or uncomfortable feelings he experiences after doing something bad by completely erasing it from memory. This isn't a totally conscious process, of course.
Ain't nobody joining your shit now.
Decide to erase something from memory. However, this type of dissociation is something a person can learn to do as early as childhood, particularly people who have gone through severe abuse during childhood. In addition, detectives found an extremely large number of leaves inside Matthew's home. This is certainly unusual and may be a sign of a severe mental health disorder. One of the symptoms of schizophrenia is delusion, in which the person may hold strange or odd beliefs. Although Matthew has made no mention of the leaves, it's possible that he holds some type of delusion involving leaves. The sheer amount of time that it would have taken him to gather that many leaves and bring inside lends support to the theory that he likely has a very strongly held belief about the leaves.
Okay, potentially, I can't, guarantee these things. What facility you might go to, where you might go, what might happen, and the attitude that the people in the system are going to take toward you can be affected by the fact that you decided at this point to do the right thing.
The male detective takes a very different approach with Matthew than the previous interrogator. He's much louder, more aggressive, and more direct.
From the moment we broke into your house, found you and found her in the basement, you owned it all. You own it all. Okay? You can't do anything about the part of it you own.
Matthew clearly doesn't respond well to the detective's assertive and somewhat aggressive approach. It appears that he's covering his ears with his arms, possibly trying to block out what the detective is saying. He's silent again, and the detective allows the silence to linger in the hopes that he will make a decision as to whether he will confess. The detective mirrors Matthew's posture and body language here. Although this can be viewed as a way of invading Matthew's personal space, it could also be the detective's way of trying to connect with Matthew. The intensity appeared to cause Matthew to become more distressed, however, by
Bro, this kid's steady sitting there like that, bro. That's weird. Bro, I hate fucking weirdos.
The detective is relaying a message of understanding.
You didn't have a plan, and you just put him in the Jeep, or you just pulled over somewhere. There's weeds in the Jeep, so it looks like you probably pulled into a field somewhere and had some of the weeds out on there. If it's a random place, give me an idea where it's street it might be on or off of. but you gotta be able to narrow the field down for the whole county. The dumping itself has to be less dramatic to recall than all the stuff that went on in the bathroom. Just tell us where to look. And I will stand up in court and see what you did. And I will go to Sarah myself and tell her that you did.
The detective returns to this theme that has Matthew looking like a good guy. He even uses Sarah seeing him as helpful as a bargaining chip.
I don't want you to get upset, but the reason we're driving around, and we don't have to drive around. Okay, remember I came in here saying that I didn't want to drive around unless there was some value in it. Okay? Right, that's the whole point, is will you see something that will, prompt your memory? But I want to talk about what the possibilities would be for that location. Okay, in other words, not across the street, you're not going to put bodies across the street. What would you do?
Look at them. They're forcing his ass up. They're forcing his ass up. Take this shit like a man, bruh. You the one that kidnapped him all. Take and probably murder. I'm not gonna lie. This guy definitely murdered. Just because the girl's alive, I guarantee he killed the 2 women. 2 women are dead. I just hope that boy and the dog's dead. And and the 2 women. But like, you know what I mean. More. I ain't trying to say more. Never mind. I'm stupid.
But there's part of you that wants to know. If it doesn't happen, genuinely, then it doesn't happen. I'm not going to be upset.
Matthew seems to like the attention and pampering he's receiving from the detective and the psychologist, who are treating him with care and catering to him as they try to locate the bodies. The detective almost sounds father-like as he's talking to Matthew about doing the right thing, almost like a mentor, and the psychologist takes on a nurturing maternal role in her soft-spoken and calm way. Matthew's severe emotional immaturity appears to have elicited this sort of care from them.
Drive you, let you see it, and kind of see what happens. I only ask you, and Chris may ask you an occasional question. But that's all. That's all we're trying to do. Okay?
We'll try to do Jack on.
Yeah, let's check on. We're going to have to put a pair of cuffs on.
Want to use your check?
Sure.
Or water. You like water better?
Should we take the water too? Yeah. All right, do you want to go to the bathroom before we go? Are you good? I think I should go. Okay. I'm going to walk down with you.
Imagine he just right here turned around, just took that bitch in that room, locked her in there, and what are they gonna do now? You got to be.
The police truly believe Matthew's claims that he can't remember what happened to the 3 missing people. They took him on a ride in an effort to refresh his memory. He didn't reveal anything. It's possible that Matthew simply wanted to escape from the interrogation room, and this car ride was a break for him from the intense questioning. The next day, Matthew is once again brought back into the interrogation room. This is now day 4. The detective removes Matthew's handcuffs. This is a gesture of goodwill in the hopes that he will appreciate it and be more cooperative with them.
Does that need to go in the microwave or is it okay?
Bro.
Giving him
I guess
coffee or gestures of friendliness, they hope he will reciprocate. The detective even offers to heat up his food again, trying to build rapport and seem like an ally to Matthew. He's just come out of his jail cell and may be even more receptive to the outside comforts they're providing him. He doesn't say thank you or appear appreciative, which further displays his antisocial personality.
You guys just starting me today? Well, pretty much. It's about 9:30. A little bit earlier. You normally an early riser, or you stay up late sleeping? I get up early.
This is just to get him comfortable with them again and get him talking. He clearly prefers to sit in silence, so this is essential for someone like this.
What are your thoughts today after the things we talked about? Kind of left it last night with you feeling like you wanted to do what you could to help.
His behavior could point to severe trauma and or mental defect. The detective realizes he must take some sort of action to get anywhere with Matthew and asks the other interrogator to step out.
Chris, would you give us a couple minutes?
Yeah, get in this motherfucker's face, bro. Spit in his fucking face. Listen here, motherfucker. Bitch. There we go.
Changing the dynamic in the room can sometimes prove useful. The detective slides his chair closer to Matthew, invading his personal space to try to snap him out of the daze he's in.
It's not unusual for us. I mean, a lot of times somebody wants to talk to one of the other. She won't take it personally.
Here you go.
Matthew shifts in his chair, positioning himself.
Bro, I'm on the. I should be a fucking cop, dude. I'm telling you, I'm on this shit. Just tell me what the words mean, what the actions mean. Give me the words for the actions. He's psychotic. He's dementia. He's fucking slow. Just give me the words. I got it. I can see
that
it.
He's trying to decrease his feelings of discomfort about the detective sitting so close to him.
There's more than one time that I've advocated for the person that I'm working with as a result of how things have gone. So when I tell you that, this is what I'll do or what I can't do, or
when the detective states that he has in previous cases advocated for the suspect, Matthew quickly looks up and makes eye contact with the detective for the first time since he's been in there. This statement has piqued his interest and attention, and the detective should take note of this and continue to use this theme of him being able to help him.
What is that thing? Can you answer? Fissing here? On the floor. Well, yeah, it's connected. Well, that's all. That's just a search. A converter that converts electrical current into a current that computer hooks up. And that computer is a CVSA, which is a type of computer that analyzes voice stress. It's kind of one of the newer types of lie detectors that they use. So isn't that a microphone? No.
Despite Matthew appearing to be in a daze the majority of the time, this question about a microphone shows that he's aware of his surroundings and he likely has some sort of plan, which is why he's wondering if he's being recorded. He's likely not as lost and distraught as he's presented to be.
What's it feeling, right? Oh my God. Just leave it there.
Matthew continues to delay because he keeps discussing things that aren't relevant and then asks to use the bathroom.
This coffee's kind of getting weak for you in the bathroom. Yeah. Right. No, you're not going to try and overpower me and take my gun or anything, right? No, you might. If you want to, you can give it to someone. Okay. Let's go.
The detective is careful to not turn his back on Matthew, just in case he snaps and tries to attack him, especially after the comments about the gun.
Oh, you can even put the gun on if you want. Okay. Do we know what
I was gonna say, yeah, homie's a little small.
Talking about the gun and offering to have the cuffs put back on is a very unusual interaction, to say the least. It could be that Matthew might be aware of his own impulsivity. Perhaps he doesn't trust what he might do in a moment of impulse. The detective took Matthew to a restroom just down the hall from the interview room.
I'm sorry. I feel like I failed you. I'm sorry if I let you down.
The detective is saying this as a tactic to essentially place the blame on himself for Matthew not being cooperative to see if that has any positive outcomes.
I feel myself trying to let you down. I've let Sarah down. I've let everybody down. Look, Sarah got recovered.
The detective may be trying to appeal to Matthew's feelings about Sarah. Earlier in the interrogation, he oddly stated that he took care of her.
And I found her in my house. She's caught up. So I took care of her.
The detective may be hoping that Matthew feels some shred of empathy for Sarah, so he'll provide them with the location of the other victims for Sarah's sake.
Everything I've told you has been the truth. But I'm being truthful with you now. I mean, it's not just about you, Matthew. It's about her. I mean, like I said, I think I failed you. I failed her. Law enforcement, hey, I failed them before. But I mean, that's the package. Did you hear any of our conversation?
No. In a bathroom, and here now, once I left here.
Do you want to tell her? No, I was wondering if maybe she had been listening with me. Some voices.
You want privacy, we give you privacy.
So, are you probably not going to keep it private?
Matthew revealed something to the detective in the bathroom that he's concerned the female interviewer will find out about. He may feel embarrassed for her to know either because she is a female or because he still wants to appear like the victim as she was previously treating him.
Our conversation, like, is that this?
This, the only thing, my intention, I'll be honest with you right now, is just tell Chris what we said. Okay? But I will tell you this, okay? If you tell us, I will keep that private.
The detective quickly realizes he now has some leverage over Matthew and uses it to create a quid pro quo scenario. Matthew is about to unveil a disturbing and unexpected revelation.
So I had a really horrific dream last night.
What dream did you
It
have?
was disgusting. Getting me out of my stomach. I'm awful. It's really disgusting.
Is it just me? I love energy drinks, C4s. Every time you drink an energy drink, it leaves like a, I don't want to say slimy, but it's like almost slimy shit on your teeth. I just don't like it. Because like when you brush your teeth in the morning, that fresh, you know, until you usually like, you eat something. I'm just used to that.
I've heard from their
Ew.
family, that's something that would just hurt them more. And hurt yourself is not going to help anybody, including yourself.
Matt said that he had the dream dealt with the food processing plant, where they chopped food up, and that there were garbage bags there that then he opened or looked in garbage can or bag, not sure which, and he saw, body parts, chopped up stuff. And I'm not sure what to think now in terms of whether he knows or doesn't know. He doesn't appear to have any concerns about it.
He's doing the what I don't think, dude. They're using a lot of different talking about him in front of him and acting like he's not there. This motherfucker's got to be like really crazy for this shit to work.
Consequences in terms of trials.
I'd be like, what? Who in the fuck
The
are
detective
y'all?
reiterates Matthew's story as if he believes his version of events, but then makes it clear he's holding back additional information. This is to try to get Matthew to disclose the location of the bodies.
Matt, in terms of this deal I'm offering you, okay, so to speak, okay, can you tell us what you do remember? My concern again was the location. Can you tell us what you do remember?
Man, you know what I would do, bro? I hit up one of the fucking homies in the pod with him. I'd be like, yo, man, I'll pull some strings, get you what you want, maybe a few less years, what you want. If you beat this motherfucker and get some answers for me, I don't give a fuck.
Look, I thought you didn't want me to talk about the offer you made to me, what you wanted to have accomplished as a result of the day, the trip.
I figured it's
You figured you already revealed that? In other words, you had asked me earlier, am I going to say that? And I said that, I would not say it. I would not give. See, what I'm figuring is that here's the I'll be right back to take over this, but I just want to throw something away. I thought that what your concern was that I didn't tell him about the desire to have us shoot you escaping.
Matthew's secret is that he wants to be shot by the detective. The detective agrees to keep this a secret so that he may be able to carry it out. This is all just a ploy to try to get Matthew to disclose the body's location, as he clearly cannot agree to kill him.
And that because if I shared that then they would go to extreme measures to keep that from happening.
there's no trust on either side.
There's no way of proving that. There's no way you can just shoot a movie if everyone knows.
I know that.
If I try to see it, we have a legitimate reason.
But the bottom line is, what does all this have to do with not telling us where they are? So how does that hurt things?
I don't understand.
Well, help me understand.
It's hard to tell if Matthew actually believes his claim about his dream or if all of this is just him buying time or trying to play crazy.
And nobody thinks that the person in this position that comes to this point does this of their own, through their own fault. I'm not going to try and figure it all out, but I mean, I know, your dad and mom split up when you were 3. You went through a life without a dad. That's a major impact. It affects a lot of people in a lot of really negative ways. I know your dad was a 40-year firefighter, and you set some fires. Okay?
His obsession with leaves and the fact that he accumulates a large collection of leaves in his home could be his way of coping with the abandonment issues related to his father, who reportedly was a firefighter. It's possible that setting fire to leaves, and thus his obsession with leaves, could be related to his hatred for his father or his desire for his father to notice him. People who feel lonely, hopeless, or empty inside often derive comfort from material objects because they might not be able to get the love and attention they want from people in their lives. As a result, they turn to obsession and fixations with things in order to feel less alone. In Matthew's case, accumulating large quantities of leaves may have brought him a feeling of fullness and comfort. However, it's also possible that Matthew may have some sort of mental illness and has some strange beliefs about leaves. One of the symptoms of schizophrenia is delusions. Yet Matthew doesn't seem to have schizophrenia, as he doesn't appear to be in a psychotic episode during these interrogations. When he does speak, he sounds clear, coherent, and he's aware of what's happening around him. He doesn't appear to be responding to any internal stimuli, as you might expect with someone who is schizophrenic. To our knowledge, Matthew was never diagnosed with schizophrenia.
With all honesty, Matt, I say this very genuinely. You are sitting in self-pity, and that doesn't even help you.
The female detective calls Matthew out for his self-pity and victim mentality. This is a sign that they are done using this theme to get him to speak, since allowing him to play the role of the victim has not produced any answers. She then directs him to think about the future and how he'll be viewed in the hopes this will get him talking.
Talk to you guys and do something like that, so I don't have any left.
Well, I disagree on that. I think you do, and you can.
Matthew is intelligent and knows that if he tells them where the bodies are, there's no guarantee of any real benefit to him. The most likely way to get him to give up this information would be in exchange for a plea deal, such as removing the death penalty. However, given Matthew's expression of wanting to be shot, that may not be motivating to him.
They're pushing, the prosecutors are pushing to have you come and have a hearing, and this is it. This is your last chance to talk to us. Literally. And
this is a lawyer prison.
that's what they're pushing for. You're saying, yeah, you're saying you're still willing to talk to us without an attorney, but that's what's being done now as far as pushing for that. So this is your last chance right now to talk to us.
They'll come and make the decisions for you.
Yeah.
They will take that away. They make it sound like it's your freedom to go and
The detective knows that it's very important for Matthew to feel like he is the one in control, and he is calling the shots. He makes it sound like if he gets a lawyer, the lawyer will be controlling him. He knows Matthew won't like feeling powerless.
And the lack of media pressure also takes some of the other people that are, being affected by it. Sorry about that.
Okay. We're done. We apparently are told we are done. Keep everything we said in mind for you. Think about it and think about what you can do for yourself after you talk to an attorney.
You're my dad. Man, no, they're gonna take you back down to jail because for security reasons the attorneys can't meet with you here, okay? Remember, public defenders have their own interests sometimes, and so, use your head, okay? You're a smart guy. Take care of yourself. I don't know if I have a chance. We'll talk again.
I hope we do. I hope we do talk again.
But,
They're here.
The The detective ends things on a friendly note, calling him Buddy, and touches him on the shoulder as a last-ditch effort to leave a positive impression. This is in the hopes that he may at some point change his mind and confess to the location of the bodies. The big question here is Matthew's strange behavior in the interrogation all an act either for pity, attention, or a ploy to get an insanity defense? Or is what we are seeing actually the real Matthew?
That's him.
Matthew later revealed that he made up the entire story about his dream about the food processing plant, where he opened a trash bag and saw cut-up body parts. He admitted that it was all a lie to try and get himself killed by the police, because he didn't want to be injected with Thorazine, an antipsychotic medication, for the rest of his life. He said he still didn't remember where the bodies were. In a written confession, Matthew admitted even more, telling the investigators that he'd been staking out Tina's home the night before the attack, sleeping in the woods across the street. The next morning, he watched as everyone left and then snuck into the home through the garage. His plan had been to burglarize the home and sneak away without anyone seeing him. He chose Tina's house because there weren't any close neighbors, and the door was often left ajar. However, Tina and Stephanie returned and caught Matthew in the act. He claimed he ambushed them in a panic. He wrote, "I was in a total state of shock. I wandered around the house, slowly coming to realization of what I'd done and how bad it was. During this time, I killed Tina's dog because it would not stop barking. It only got worse, because then Sarah and Cody returned home. Matthew attacked and killed Cody before tying up Sarah." He wrote, "I did not enter the house to kill those people. I did not know a single one of them." Shortly after killing Tina, Stephanie, and Cody, Matthew drove to Gambier to collect gas cans from his own vehicle with the intention of burning down Tina's house. It was then that he was stopped by an officer, who eventually let him go. He gave up his plan to burn down the house and instead returned to his own, where he built a campfire, burned his shoes, and drank a bottle of wine. On November 18th, Matthew finally cracked and agreed to show investigators the location of Tina, Cody, and Stephanie's bodies. It's unclear if Matthew's memory of what he did came back, or more likely, if he'd been lying about not remembering all along. He described the spot to officers where he dumped the bodies, hidden in the Cocosine Wildlife Area. As the detectives traveled through fields to a wooded area, other officers secured the perimeter. They eventually found a hollow beech tree that matched Matthew's description, which had a hole about 6 feet up from the ground. There was also a second larger hole near the branches. When an officer looked inside the hole, they spotted what looked like trash bags hidden inside the tree. Another hole was cut in the tree and the trash bags were examined, revealing remains belonging to Tina Herman, Cody Maynard, Stephanie Sprang, and Tanner the dog. Matthew later revealed he got the bodies inside the tree using the top hole and a rig and pulley system to drop them inside. There's some speculation that when Matthew worked as a tree trimmer, he had hollowed out the tree himself. On January 6, 2011, Matthew avoided the death penalty by pleading guilty to 10 felonies. After everything that was found, it was clear that Matthew had a bizarre obsession with leaves. Forensic psychologists testified that his leaf obsession was delusional, and they believed that he may have hidden the bodies inside of a tree because it was familiar and comforting to him. Matthew Hoffman was then sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. That same month, his leaf-filled home went into foreclosure, and eventually the tree where the bodies had been hidden was cut down.
Man, you got some crazy motherfuckers out there. That was probably, I don't know, one of the, like, fucking locoest fucking people I've ever watched. But yeah, that would do it for this video, man. We off to the next one. About to do another reaction. I might actually react to some music. I don't know. If I post some music reactions, then I did. If I didn't, I didn't. Deuces.